Hello to all you out there. I am TJ. This is episode 34 of my reviews, and we're getting up to the very last part of Kingdom Hearts 2 in this part of the series, which um, I'm pretty excited about. Even to this day, after even though I've beaten the game already, I still get psyched every time I get to the last board and get ready to fight the main antagonist of the game. So, but here comes this. Well, for this particular episode, I'm gonna try and go into more detail of the side side two side quests that are are basically here in this game, as well as the various tournaments that you can partake in at the Olympus Coliseum and the Underworld. So with that, let's get to work. Now, though I talked about it, in another segment earlier, I'm gonna go into more detail about both the Hundred Acre Wood and Atlantica in this episode. Now, mind you, while you're going through the Hundred Acre Wood, completing these various mini games, you'll also be able to still pick up the various items that are there in the Hundred Acre Wood. But going right to work as to how many pages you're actually going to have to locate, instead of there being four, the last one, there's actually five. And you can, the location of these missing torn pages from the Winnie the Pooh storybook are located at the library in Disney Castle, the Oasis in Pride Lands, the Crystal Fissure and Hollow Bastion between the Castle Gates and the Great Maw, the Throne Room in the Land of Dragons, and the Tower in Agrabah. Now, once you, or by the end of your first visit to the Hundred Acre Wood, you'll speak with Merlin, and he will give you your first summon, which is the baseball charm, which in turn summons Chicken Little. But moving right along, the first torn page gives you Piglet's house, and this is a game where you will basically ride with Piglet in the wind, trying to knock out obstacles, while all the while trying to collect points. Now, the way the points are scored is that with various nuts you get 10 points, the tree you get 400 points, and pots you get 800 points. To actually finish the game, so to complete the game, you need a score of at least 18,000 or more. I know it's a bit of a challenge, but it can be done. If the game makers can do it, so can you. The second the second torn page has you at Rabbit's house. Of course, this has Pooh accidentally crashing into Eeyore's house. And as you're going through the 100 Acre Woods this time around, you notice that Pooh has lost memory of his friends and can't quite figure out who they are. So your job this time around is to help Pooh remember all of his friends. Now, Rabbit in this particular episode helps Pooh while Rabbit's under the disguise that the reason why Pooh has forgotten who his friends were is because that he's hungry. And takes Pooh to a secret place where he has stored all of his honey. And by the end of this by the end of a particular game in the episode, Rabbit is somewhat beside himself, considering the fact that he's convinced that Pooh doesn't remember him, but then Pooh remembers him right off the bat, ending that episode. Torn page number 3 has you at Kanga's house, where basically in this one you get to bounce on balloons, actually. Now, the reaction command normally would be used for combat, but in this particular case, you get to use it for fun. But the object here in this is to acquire, well, let me put it this way. The more you bounce on the balloons, the higher you go up, the higher your points will go up. Of course, at the end of this one, Pooh remembers another one of his friends. Number 4 has everyone looking for Pooh in the spooky cave. Now, much like the previous 3 mini games, this one's also timed. And the objective in the Jiminy Journal is to find Pooh within 90 seconds. Now, it can be done because I've done it. However, there are some parts in there that are slippery and will cause Sora to fall, lose traction. And don't think that you're in a spooky cave that everything's all hunky-dory, because it's not. You'll be fighting bees. The best way to kind of eliminate them all is to use your magnet spell and gather them all in one spot. Now, it is at the end of number 4 that Pooh finally remembers Sora, as if in the beginning Pooh said he was looking for someone and couldn't quite figure out what his name was, and it just happened to be Sora, which he finally remembers at the end of this one. Of course, in true Pooh fashion, he says he's hungry, wants honey, they go home. Now, in the last page, which is pretty comical to me, but still a minigame, happens on Starry Hill. Pooh just happens to get himself stuck in a jar of honey, and your job is to basically get him out of it. Now, at the end of this one, Pooh's trying to find a way to keep Sora to, or convince Sora to stay, but Sora turns around and tells Pooh that, as long as you remember me, I won't be too far away from you. Much like in true Christopher Robin fashion. That that will basically complete the Hundred Acre Woods, sealing it. The get bonus for completing the Hundred Acre Wood is a Cure Element upgrade and an Orichalcum Plus. Now, I know that most of you enjoy Winnie the Pooh, and hell, even I do. And I once had a Tigger plush doll, so I'm still I'm still a fan of it. Now, although you will end up going through each of the torn pages and completing the mini game to eventually seal the Hundred Acre Wood, you can go back through the Hundred Acre Wood to collect the items that you were unable to acquire during the first go around. If that makes any sense to you. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of my reviews. Episode 35 is going to cover the other world in more detail, which is Atlantica. I'm TJ. See ya.